Art with Miss Strauss. First grade art, lesson 3, for September 14th through September 25th. Hello everyone. Are you ready to observe and investigate for lesson 3? I know I am. Objective. You'll use observation skills to prepare for a work of art. Setting up your art space. Optional materials for this week could be basic school supplies like pencils, art supplies like colored pencils or crayons, regular paper, found materials like cardboard cereal boxes or leaves, and digital drawing tools. Now don't worry, you don't need to get anything out right now. I will explain more in the lesson, and I will also show you what digital tools you could use and maybe how to use them. Did you know that artists look around them for new ideas before they make an artwork? The more artists learn, the more artistic inspiration they have. Have you ever been inspired to draw or paint something after learning something new? Observe and investigate. In addition to using their imaginations, artists observe and investigate the world around them. Imagination. Have you ever used your imagination to think of an idea for a new work of art? Just like you, artists use their imaginations to think of ideas. Maybe you have imagined another world with fantastic creatures or future of flying cars. Use your imagination as an important part of forming ideas for new artwork. Words to know. Observation. I will say it slowly. Observation. Now you say it. Ready? Go. Good. Observation. Now let's say it together. Ready? Observation. What do you think that word means? If I ask you to observe something, what do I want you to do? What do you think these kids in this video are doing? I wonder. Observe means to watch. Have you ever watched a bird in a nest? Have you ever watched rain fall from the sky? Whenever you are watching something, you are observing. To observe is to watch. Artists observe. This video shows an artist practicing the technique of plein air painting. Plein air is the French way of saying open air or outside. All artists look around them and observe what is happening. They watch how things change. You can practice your observation skills by watching something that is around you. Even if it doesn't seem exciting at first, you can find one thing that is interesting about what you see. Can you see something outside of your window? Look around the room that you were in. Now, do you notice something that is different from other spaces? Can you find an artistic inspiration around you and think of a new idea for artwork when you observe? I think you can. Words to know. Investigate. I will say it slowly. Investigate. Now you say it. Ready? Investigate. Now, let's say it together. Ready? Investigate. What do you think that word means? If I asked you to investigate something, what would I want you to do? What do you think these kids are investigating? If I had to guess, I would say that they are studying the planets or outer space. To investigate is to try to learn something more about something else. Investigation can help you prepare to create a work of art. The more you learn about something, the more ideas you can explore in your artwork. Artists also investigate things that interest them. For example, an artist who is interested in outer space could go outside and observe the night sky. Then, they could watch videos or read books about faraway planets and places. What would you like to investigate? Hey everybody, we are outside. We're at the park and we are looking for kinds of things that maybe aren't usually used for art, but kinds of things that we could use for making art, or things to look at to inspire our art. Right now it's a gorgeous day and we're on the lake and there's a lot to inspire us. So we're at the park and there's quite a few people here, so I got my mask back up even though we're outside. And I'm collecting things as we walk around, things that might be interesting, things that could be used for art in different ways. So this is what I have so far, but let's keep looking around. There's little pieces of twigs and sticks and things here, and that's fine. I don't see anything interesting. I'm gonna watch out. Ooh, there's ants. Gotta watch out for the ants. I wonder, what's that thing? It's got some good texture. Ooh, what's this thing? I like that texture too. I wonder if I could draw that. That could be kind of fun. I might take that for later. Now, we just had a little adventure of going outside and finding some interesting things in nature. So this week we're thinking about art in different kinds of ways and making observations about the world around us. It kind of feels like thinking like a scientist and thinking like an artist all at once, which is kind of fun. So if you notice, I have all these things that I've found, and I can do a couple of things with them. Now, right now, I'm just laying them out so that you can see, but one thing I might be able to do is to arrange these in an interesting way. Maybe I make some patterns. Maybe I look at these individual ones and say, oh, look at that, that's an interesting texture. Maybe I'll draw that texture. Ooh, I wonder what this is. I wonder what the insides look like. Maybe I could draw what I observe. There's all kinds of different ways that we could use these items that we find into art. Maybe I can put them all together in a way that makes it interesting on this paper. Or maybe I get a pencil, just a regular pencil, number 2, and start drawing. There's a lot of different ways I could do this. Maybe I could take a marker and start coloring on one of these, and now it's a stamp. That's an interesting texture. If I have a marker, I can do this, and it makes this weird texture here. Now, I'm pretty sure I could find this leaf and do the same thing and have this texture on my paper. Ta-da! I wonder what other ways I could use these found objects. I thought were interesting. But sometimes you don't have to draw. Maybe you don't have any pencils or paper or anything, but maybe you have instead something like a piece of cardboard, and this is just a pizza box, and maybe you just have some water. Now you can still make art, and maybe use found materials instead of using pencils and paper. I'm gonna have this feather I found. I'm gonna dip it in the water and see what kind of mark it makes.
on the cardboard. And you can see there are marks on the cardboard. It's going to dry, but I can try different materials, different found items, and see what happens when I make a mark with the water on the cardboard. You can even take things like the stem of this leaf, and instead of using a paintbrush, you can dip it in and draw very fine lines. It takes a minute to show up, but if you don't have a paintbrush, this can be a fun way to practice making art with found materials. I could also make some three-dimensional art out of this, or I could start in this way and maybe later go back and add different details. Or I can just keep practicing. As the water dries, I can keep adding more. So even if you have something as simple as cardboard and water, you can still make art, even if it is just for a little bit. Now, I wonder what you could create with the things you have around your house. Maybe you can make a robot out of some recycled materials. Maybe if you have something as simple as cardboard and water, you can make a temporary drawing. But you can also use this cardboard with markers and crayons and even colored pencils. You can draw about the things you found or observed, or make observations about how your materials interact with each other. There's all different kinds of ways to make art.
Today's objective was to use your observation skills to create art. We explored different ways to use natural materials and found objects in our art. Now, another way to do art is digital art. If I go back to Schoology and go to my art course, this is what I see. Now, this isn't exactly your course, but it should look a lot like mine. To create something new, we can use the things that are around us, like the found materials art that I showed before. But in a virtual classroom, you can go to a link. At the bottom of the page, there's a link that says PBS Kids Nature Cat Art Box. This is one of many tools that you can use to create digital art. You can follow this link, and it comes to a page like this. But for some reason, if this Nature Art Box doesn't load, you can go to the top right here and open in a new tab. This new tab will bring you to a new page that's bigger. When this page loads, it takes just a second, but it's the same thing in a new window. Nature Art Box. When everything's loading and ready, you can follow the prompts. This one says skip to the next page, and we're going to load again here at the bottom. But once we get to the right spot, we can do our art. This page is our virtual background. You can choose one, and these are the ones I've done before, but we'll get a fresh one. This fresh one will open after this loading screen, and here's our next page. There's Nature Cat. These instructions will help you move along. We can go to our markers or brushes, and we can see these different nature brushes that create different textures. Now I'm going to click my paintbrush and then my color. Once I choose my color here, I can go down to the bottom and create the size brush I want, big or small. Once I click here, I can go and start drawing. If I draw something simple like a smiley face, it shows up pretty quickly. I can also erase if I'd like to change something. I didn't like that at all, so I'm going to start over. I go back and add another eye, maybe make this one a little bit bigger. Now when I decide I like it, I can save it, and then make sure to save it. But then I can go back and continue to add more things. And I want to be thinking of nature and the things I see in nature, but sometimes we can't always go outside and do those things. So I'm going to add nature stickers like some seeds. While I'm inspired by nature, maybe you're inspired by other things. You could draw dinosaurs or maybe some Legos. What's something that you love and enjoy and want to learn more about?